Alright, this is part 2 of driving tracked vehicles, varied terrain driving lesson, pound sign 945-171-0100-Foxtrot. So this is part 2. Part 1 was utter failure, but I rooted around my basement and I found this this old Sony cassette player. I think it's the one I used 3 years ago. So we might be in good shape. I think it was the second one that worked. So we're gonna put that in and we're gonna get going on this. Hopefully it'll work. Like I said, this stuff's not magnetically shielded, and we got the output jack. That was a bugaboo to find. This is one I didn't want because it's not gold, but I had it hanging around, so maybe, hopefully the sound will be alright. But again, it is a tape from the old days. So, alright, without further ado, let's get on the show, see if it'll play. Sometimes these tape heads don't really what do you call, the spindles don't line up right. Okay, what the, am I putting it in wrong? Maybe it's not upside down. Oh yeah, user error. Okay, so let's get going on here.
Howdy folks, Uncle Billy here, my dog Spot. Sure hope you're going to enjoy today's movie. You're going to be learning about driving tracked vehicles over all terrain.
Alright, we're going to start that over. That was a shatty deal. Let's go ahead and rewind that. That was no good. I don't have my stuff adjusted properly. Like I said, it's a rinky-dink deal. We're going to go over this. But it sounds like a good tape. So we're just rewinding it right now. Hopefully this recorder on my phone here will hold out. Usually I used, well, in the past I did on my computer, you know, held out, but we'll see. Usually if my memory card's empty and I reset the phone, it'll go ahead and play, or it'll record past 10 minutes. Alright, so let's try again. So we want to turn this all the way down, maybe a little bit of bass. We need to turn that down quite a bit. That's down. It's up a little. Okay. That might be better.
Howdy folks, Uncle Billy here, and this is my dog Spot. Sure hope you're going to enjoy today's movie. You're going to be learning about driving tracked vehicles over all kinds of terrain. At Uncle Billy's Track Driving School, your personal safety and preventing damage to your vehicle are the major goals. Now, when you're finished today, you'll be able to describe how to operate your track over different terrain conditions, like getting into and out of a ditch. Now, that can be real tricky. And even though an obstacle like this usually doesn't stop a tanker, there's a special way you drive over it. When you're through, you'll be able to describe that special way. Same with driving over rugged ground. You'll be able to keep your cool and state how you can drive over country like this without throwing a track or busting your suspension. You'll also be able to state how you drive your vehicle on a slope like this fella without turning yourself topsy-turvy. And, of course, there ain't never been no army yet that didn't have to go up and down some crazy hill. So that's one other thing you'll be doing, too. Selecting how to climb hills safely. Now, I just know you're a hankering to get right to the movie, so let's move on to today's exciting feature, the Pink Panzers.
Ach, here is the infamous Rolf von Track, the Pink Baron, scouring the countryside for unwitting victims. He can destroy with his superior daring, courage, and... oh, yes. And his faithful driver companion, Private Stickenship, Hans.
Herr Baron, is that not eine large ditch?
Ist das nein unlarge? Was? Ja, das ist unlarge.
Howdy-dowdy there, friends and neighbors. Sure do hope you're liking our movie. Now, old Hans and the Baron there seem to be having some trouble crossing that ditch. One of the first things you learn at my driving school is crossing ditches and obstacles. If you don't do it right, you can injure your crew and damage the vehicle. Don't you worry now, though. It's really only common sense. If you were approaching a ditch like this, how would you move up on that ditch? Real fast or slow? Make a choice and write it down. Well, hope you said slow. Just put the vehicle in low gear and slow down, and that's 100% right. You just ease up on that ditch and you ease down into it. Then you drive slow to the other side. Be patient, and you're guaranteed you'll get there. But there's always two sides to every ditch, and climbing out right's just as important as getting in right. Now, if you are in a deep ditch, whether you're getting in or getting out, you'll have to be careful, or you might jam that M60A1 gun tube right smack into the side or bottom of that ditch. So be sure you remember to warn the crew so they can raise or traverse the gun to keep that from happening. Now, if you were driving this vehicle, what would you do to climb out of this ditch? Choose your answer and write it down. That's the ticket. Go slow till you make contact. Then increase power, because you're going to need it for the climb. And that puts you here. Uh-oh. If you continue on like this, you're going to have a hard landing and possibly throw a track or bust a suspension. So what would you do in this situation to avoid that hard landing? Would you increase power or reduce it? Choose your answer and write it down. Reduce that power. Then your vehicle will touch down softly and you'll be on your way. Now, climbing over an obstacle is pretty close to the same procedure. First off, you need to know the capability of your vehicle for climbing obstacles. How high you can climb depends on the type of vehicle you're driving. A good rule of thumb is not to try to get over a vertical obstacle higher than the center of your idler wheel. Next, supposing that you know how high an obstacle your vehicle can climb, how would you approach an obstacle? Slow or fast? You'd approach it the same as you would a ditch. Put her in low gear and slow her down until you made contact. Then, to climb over the obstacle, what are you going to do? Increase your power for the climb. Then, as it starts to pitch forward, what are you going to do? Cut back or reduce that power.
Okay, we're going to have another part here because it's cutting off.